You not even? No, never mind. Okay,
That's way worse.
I don't even know what point I was trying to make. You know, the woman that ran for mayor in my town that tried to fire me, like that was what she ran on. Did I tell you this?
No.
My town, city of Buffalo, it had a socialist.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
Your town.
So it had a socialist
Shout
run
out to,
for mayor.
shout out to the Sabres. What? I'm so confused right now.
The skate was in, no goal. You'll know. You'll know if you're a hockey fan.
Hockey. Sports ball. Watch out.
Shut up, guy. So we had a socialist run for mayor in our city, like a full blown socialist, and she's such a fucking turd piece of shit that her family has had numerous encounters with, let's say, law enforcement for multiple reasons. I'm not going to say
Was
what
it
they
you?
were. Not me specifically, but
they were
people,
fine. It was
people
just-
that I
yeah.
know directly, like. Guys were like, they're going northbound on this street. They just ditched the car. And I'm listening to the radio like, we should probably get to that car chase.
we should probably be there.
And so this turd socialist runs for mayor. And in the city of Buffalo, if you run for the Democratic primaries, like primaries being like who's going to run for each party,
Yeah.
usually who wins the Democratic Party primary becomes the mayor. So she wins the primary because our mayor at the time didn't like run that hard. COVID and all this other bullshit he was dealing with. And
He didn't give a fuck. He was like, peace.
I don't say he didn't give a fuck, but he was like, I'm fucking kicking ass, taking care of shit here. Like, people should know who I am. And then they didn't, which is
Yeah, they got
dumb.
Yeah, he was like.
So she's like, I've got the Democratic primary. So he runs on the ballot, just goes write-in ticket, right? Nobody wins on that. We're talking nerd shit in a political sense, so just bear with me. So she's on the ticket. Like, you see her name when you go, I want to vote for that person. His name ain't on there. You got to write his name in and then go, all right, I wrote in his name.
That doesn't work good.
And in August, she goes on an interview for this like Democratic Socialist Party interview and goes, and she's asked the question, which is why I say this. What is your first thing you would do as the mayor of the city of Buffalo, New York? And she goes, the first thing I would do as the mayor of the city of Buffalo, New York, is I would fire Officer Richard High. I'm like,
What the fuck? Wait, hold on.
I go, well, that's fucking me.
That was direct.
I mean, you wouldn't like do like, I don't know, like a dance or talk to your mom or like pave a fucking road. The first thing you do
There's
is
a
like,
lot of roads in Buffalo that need paving.
I'm going to fire that white piece of shit YouTuber guy that works for me. And I was like, oh. Now, I didn't know this in August, right? Because there's not a lot of socialists in Buffalo, thank God. And, it doesn't really work that well. So about 2-3 weeks before the overall election, right? We got her running on the Democratic ticket. Her name is on the ballot. You can actually see her name. And then we got the blank space right in mayor name, right? And 2 weeks before the vote, somebody sends that to me.
Uh-oh.
And the video on YouTube had like 500 views, right? Not a lot of people saw it, right? I mean,
Oh, no.
what a win for democratic socialism.
Did she tag you afterwards?
No. So somebody hashtag
vidIQ, like, this person you should tag in this guy, and they would just go down.
Angry cops.
So nobody sees it, but somebody sends it to me that saw it and goes like, hey, I thought you should know. Shout out to that person. And I go, wow, that's interesting. Well, I've got the guy that's a write-in ballot in one hand, and I'm fucking fired and out of a job in the other. And I don't know if you told anything about my personality, if you know anything about my personality from this conversation, but don't tell me I've got nothing to fight for, or because I'll fucking go balls out in a horrible way. And so for the last 14, 12 days of that electoral time before the overall election, I made a shit ton of memes just shitting all over this moron and her views. And it's not hard because she's fucking dumb. And so are her views. So all I really did was just quote her and make memes about her dumb words that came out of her fucking head. And it was just like, dirt. Like everybody. Yeah.
Dirt, you were so right.
I'm so rada. So, and listen, by the way, one of my jobs in the Army was U.S. Army, civil affairs.
Veteran.
Civil affairs. Ready for the second part? The civil affairs. Psychological operations. So I'm like, media. I know the power of media. I know what you can do to say and, move people in one way to like get them to think the way you think and not like a creepy way, but like a good normal way because they read shit.
It's a little
and
creepy.
There's facts. A little creepy. I just know what I'm doing. So then she goes on, and this made my fucking day. Like 4 days before the election, she goes on our news channel and she goes, and they're like interview each person running. We got the mayor that's going on the write-in ballot. They're like, hey, there's some problems. There's some positives. What do you think? And he answers it. And then she comes on and they go, hey, there's some good things. There's some problems. What do you think? And the last one of the question that I highlighted was when she was asked, like, hey, you're part of the defund the police movement. What's that mean?
That's
She's
you.
like, listen, I just want to squash any rumors. I'm not going to fire any of the Buffalo Police Department. And I cut it. Hard cut. Jump cut. Boom.
Which is here.
The first thing I do when I become Buffalo mayor is I'm going to fire police officer Richard High. And then I cut in and Curb Your Enthusiasm. And here's the smart part. Here's the psyops in me, right? I was like, all right, I'm a controversial figure in the city.
No
I
way.
know.
That's crazy.
Heaven forbid people
You?
that are smart and right be controversial, but I
Unreal.
can't help it. So I don't put my name on it. I don't put a tag on it. I don't put my music at the end. I just post it, right? No name, just out there in the ether. And one of the council members, by the way, that she called a small-dicked white man, I shit you not. Hashtag, what a racist bitch. So he's like, oh, that's fucking funny. He doesn't know that it's for me because that's the point. I don't want people to establish their name with me because I'm somewhat controversial because once again, I'm right all the time. And yeah, all the time. Well, I do hang out with people that make Asian voice. So
Not me.
I'm not even gonna
I
try
can
it.
do Mexican voice and it's okay.
You're Mexican.
The
It's-
Asian voice, you're like, I can't compete with that. Bro.
My Filipino family thinks that you do pretty well.
Oh, thank God.
So
That's answer the bone.
it's pretty good. Okay.
Pretty good. You answer
The word
bone.
that you say is
Yeah,
okay.
that's
the story before you do the voice.
So the council member reposts my video of I'm not gonna fire anybody from the police. With what? The first thing I do is I'm gonna fire Officer Richard High. Boom. And it goes, I mean, it didn't go viral in the sense of like, the internet, but it
for
went viral for the
Buffalo.
city.
Yeah.
Everybody in the city was like, this dumb broad. Then I was like, yes. Mission accomplished. And then she had
George Bush, aircraft carrier, the sign.
not done yet. Mission accomplished. Right? So it's not even done yet, right? It's after the election. And it's definitely her and her cronies. Because I'm like tagging her and all my shit. I'm like, fuck you, you're a political person. Just like Donald Trump can't block anybody, you can't block me. Well, she lost. And so now she can. So she did. She blocked me. And which is whatever. But then she had all of her cronies like flag all of my posts about her as like hate speech and harassment. And I'm like,
It's politics.
and for the past year, I've been going back and forth with Instagram, and I won. And I'm like, hey, listen, this is when she was running for political office, and this is her political thing, and these are the political things that she said. So I'm not like, what do you want?
You're not
She said
breaking
the
these
words.
rules.
I'm not breaking
You
any
are being
rules.
you.
And Instagram's like, hey, we took that down for 2 weeks, and you're right. Oh, we'll put it back up. We're sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mhm.
That's
Dude,
my
oh
story.
God, that is fucking comedy.
I got involved in an election.